I will call this meeting of the Champaign-Urbana Cable and Telecommunications Commission to order on October 19, 2017 at 3:42. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Folk.
Present.
Commissioner Gleason. Not present. Commissioner Panumpabi. Not present. Commissioner Rosales. Not present. Commissioner Cinder.
Present.
Commissioner Wadsworth.
Present.
Commissioner Walker.
Here.
And Commissioner Foster sent his regrets ahead of time.
We do not have a quorum. Would the members who are present like to discuss any items while we are here?
My impression is that we still have to follow the agenda.
Yeah. Do we want to continue or adjourn? I guess I'm looking for guidance from the other commissioners.
I would suggest that we should at least get through new business, given
Okay.
to the extent it can be.
Are there any modifications to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
Well, I guess we can't have.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. Is there any correspondence?
No.
Thank you. Staff reports?
I do have one, if the commission would like
Thank
to
you.
hear. Somewhere in here I have one. As usual, it was a busy quarter of production at Urbana Public Television. Thankfully, I've had some help. In September, we welcomed UPTV production assistant Ethan Young to the staff. Ethan is a graduate of Parkland College, and he is in charge of all locally produced public access shows in the UPTV mini studio. He works 15 hours a week, and he is here on Saturdays to keep the facility open to members of the public who want to come in and produce their show. We also welcome longtime UPTV volunteer Jacob Bernard to the staff. Jacob covers a number of the board and commission meetings in the evening. I want to take this opportunity to really thank all the part-time staff, including Crofton Coleman, who's running the cameras today. They've stepped up a lot in the last month or so with Jake's absence. We continue to work with the Urbana High School journalism class, in addition to producing broadcasts for 11 sporting events this fall. Senior Joey Wright produced a fall sports preview show, which was very well received. He interviewed all of the fall sports coaches and some of the athletes. The students also produced the Board of Education meetings and the Urbana Free Library Board of Directors meeting, which occur on Tuesdays, so that's certainly helpful for us and a learning experience for them. Joey has been working with UPTV since he was a student in the Urbana Middle School after-school Splash I Want to Be on TV program. So he's been with us for 5 years now, and I'll give a special shout out to Joey, who will be graduating in the spring and continuing his broadcast career at Illinois State University. He was also just hired at News Gazette Media for work on their print and radio products. We also covered a live burn demonstration put on by the Urbana Fire Department last week, and we produced video for the 4th Annual Immigrant Welcome Awards. The City of Urbana Communications Coordinator Natalie Kinney Marquez and the Mayor Diane Marlin began producing a monthly e-newsletter under the name of It's All About You, which is also our monthly city talk show title. We produce a welcome video with the mayor highlighting what's happening in Urbana, and it's included in the newsletter. You can sign up to receive It's All About You by visiting the homepage of the city's website, urbanaillinois.us, and it's underneath the online services tab there on the homepage. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Jason.
have a
Commission
report,
annual
too.
reports. I can report that I have for some time had a partially completed.
Dale, I have a quick report. Staff
Yes.
report. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. So back in August, I sent everybody the annual PEG report for CGTV. We've started doing MTD's Board of Trustee meetings once a month. Every month we do that now. So that's something exciting that we're doing. And as you could probably see when you look through the report, we've done a lot of different productions besides just doing the live city meetings. And back in September, Jeff was at a 3CMA conference, and he accepted a third-place award for our body cameras with the CPD department. And then I was at an event, the TOA event, and we received an honorable mention for the mayor's welcome video. That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, going on to commission annual reports. I for some time had in my hip pocket a mostly completed annual report, which was done early in the year for the past year. I could go ahead and send that along. It consists of the annual reports of the various PEG stations, as well as a list of commissioners and their terms, and some information gathered by Andrew that I think is mostly now obsolete because it consisted a good deal of it in differences between Champaign and Urbana pricing. And in our meeting with, who did we meet with? Yeah. Our representative, Art, yes, Art. Yeah. He informed us that those differences were going to be resolved shortly. So there were differences in pricing, both for packages and for installation and maintenance, I believe. Yeah. So I will go ahead and either take those out or substitute an appropriate thing and go ahead and submit that report on behalf of the commission. Any questions from commissioners? Okay. Moving on to audience participation. I see we have no audience. New business, elections. Well, we can't do that because we do not have a quorum. Next item would be Cable Commission resolution on dissolving the Cable Commission. Is there any discussion from commissioners on this item?
So we have two. Well, we really don't have a path forward for issuing our own resolution because we don't have a quorum.
Right.
But I think what we expect to happen after this meeting is that the cities will therefore dissolve it, since we can't dissolve ourselves. Is that accurate, or would we wait another meeting to do this resolution?
Either path forward is available to us.
Okay.
So I would say that, again, given our constraints due to Jake's absence and staffing, my preference would just be to take this to the different city councils.
Yes, I think that would be appropriate. It seems unlikely we will have better luck gathering a quorum, given what we are going to be discussing as primary dissolving the commission.
Right.
Who wants to attend that meeting?
Well, on the topic, so I think I've been involved in the commission since 2009. I can, while the legal requirement for a commission seems to have gone away over the years, really prior to my involvement in the commission, I continue to believe that communications policy and our local approach to it is an extremely important component of our community's lives. Back in 2009, though, the cities had a they had a desire to do something about it, to change, to try and set a path forward that was not just letting the industry develop on its own. We developed the Broadband Access Committee, which is actually how I got involved in the commission. And out of that, the UC2B project and so forth. But after the UC2B project got underway, the cities largely withdrew from that process, trying to push for better access for their citizens and to shape the communications environment in our community. Instead, they preferred to defer to private companies, whatever they decided they wanted to do, and the national laws. I just would like to put my opinion on record that that is not the only path forward for this community, that we definitely could take our communication destiny into our own hands and make sure that we improve the lives of our citizens beyond that which the larger commercial entities will do. And I think it was an opportunity missed 5 years ago or so when they didn't continue to push that ball forward. I think that we have seen in our community what happens when we have inequity in many areas, but not least of which education and communication resources. If people were spending their time playing violent video games, perhaps they would not be spending their time shooting each other in our community. And I wish that our communities had really the ability to put that forward and try and push forward a better communications environment for our citizenry. And that's why I've been involved in the commission. I feel like I've let down my fellow commissioners due to other responsibilities in my life. When I joined up, I wasn't single, but I was pretty independent, and I had no kids, and now I have 2. So I have a lot of responsibilities in that regard, as well as in my business that are challenging. But I do think that some way of keeping our community apprised of new developments and some way of having those having points for change identified and policies developed within our community would benefit us as people who live here. So that's all I can say. There's nothing more I can do with regard to the commission because, as I said, my resources are already mostly tapped, and the city's not proposing to add more resources to the table. So the cities are not proposing that. So that's.
Thank you, Peter. Anyone else?
I agree with Peter. I wish there was a way, even though the law has taken away a lot of our control, I wish there was a way to be some kind of force in the community and centralize this. I mean, even with the law changing, when the AT&T and Comcast representatives used to come to the meetings, I thought there was some value in that. They got to tell us and the community what they were doing, and we got to emphasize to them what the community wanted and what the problems were. And I think that somehow made them a little bit more accountable. I mean, even if we didn't have the power to actually regulate them. When I started on the commission, which was so long ago I don't remember, perhaps before a few of you were born. We had quite a lot of regulatory power, and long before that, the commission was a necessary and really quite a powerful force in the community, and people like Brian Silverman used that power to really make the cable companies accountable to us. Now we're kind of lost, and like Peter, I wish there was some way to channel at least some of that educational value into, I don't know, some other commission, the broadband commission, I don't know, but it's sad to think that we're just kind of at their mercy, and they're existing in this community without really being accountable to much of anyone.
Andrew, any comments? Okay. I have a couple of questions for Sanford. In looking at the resolution that you prepared, I take it, given the language and all the whereases, that this did go through the legal department?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
But the legal department drafted this for the
Yeah.
purpose of the commission.
Yes.
Should we not, as the commission, should we not take action on this? This resolution dissolving the cable commission will not be something we would go to council with.
Right,
Instead, we would find the appropriate ordinances and amend them.
right.
So there would be different
Yeah.
language that we presented to council.
Also, with regard to section 1 on the second page, regarding the preparation of accounting of monies, equipment, and assets, I'm not aware of any of those items under the control of the commission. Is anyone else?
Years ago, we used to have a budget,
Yeah.
5,000 a year or something, but not for years.
Yeah,
I'm not aware of any either,
okay.
so.
Do with that 5,000.
We did some promotional, we did some bookmarks and a website and some promotional things, and usually we sent one or two people to the NATOA convention, which was
Yeah.
actually a pretty valuable experience, and they would come back and
And report
report
back.
and-
Yeah, okay. Just kind of wondered. Or parties.
yeah,
No
big,
party.
no pizza parties.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, on that, Chair Cinder, I, on section 1, I also am unaware of any assets
Yes,
that the commission possesses. So,
that's my understanding as well.
okay. Commissioner Walker, was there ever, besides the bookmarks, were there any other assets that you're aware of?
Besides us,
Okay.
no equipment.
Okay, moving on to commissioners' comments. Any general comments from the commissioners?
Well, I'll just give one more closing comment. If this is indeed the last meeting of the commission, I would encourage the cities to keep their eye on the ball with regard to the development of communications policy. We have an FCC that appears to be non-functional at this time, and we have a set of very powerful entities that are finally coming to grips with the fact that they're going to be losing out on video subscriber revenues. We've seen a 12% increase nationally in Comcast's rates for broadband. There's been a report that people expect those rates to double. And the way these services, how integrally related these are to our daily lives, that should be a concern to all of us. And I hope that I would encourage the the city councils to find a way or devote such resources as they can justify to keeping up to date on those developments and finding ways that our communities can stand out in that regard as havens of free speech and free access and better community communication than the rest of the nation. And that's it.
Okay.
Chair Cinder, I'm
Yes.
not a commissioner, but just, I'd like to express my appreciation for all the commission members. You have diligently turned out, quarter after quarter and read the packets and participated, I think, with great interest in all the discussions that went on. So we do appreciate your time and your effort, and to a certain extent, I feel like one of the reasons that we're looking into this dissolvement is to respect your time, because you are contributing your hours of your lives and time away from your other duties in order to participate, and we want to make sure that if you do that, that it's truly justifying what you're doing. So thank you for that.
And with that, I will set our next meeting time for January 18th of next year at 3:30 here in the Urbana City Council chambers, unless the city councils have acted before that date to amend the regulations for the cities dissolving the commissions. And with that, go in peace.